Hello guys, welcome to my channel Security Corp. So in this video we are going to discuss about famous brute force attacking tool Brutespray. So first, what is a brute force attack? So brute force attack is actually called as like a hit and try until you succeed. That is what the brute force attack means. So in brute force attack, the automated software is used to generate a large number of guesses as the value of a desired data. And the brute force attacks may be used by the criminals to crack sensitive data, or will be used by the security analyst during the penetration testing. So during the brute force attack, sometimes the attack takes longer, but the success rate is higher. So in this video, we are going to use an automated tool to perform a brute force attack. Before getting further, I am a course creator. I have some courses on Udemy, and I have recently released a course which is called Penetration Testing with Netcat in a red teamer way. If you like to support me, go ahead and check out my course. If you like to support me, you can enroll it by supporting me. So I'll put the Udemy link in the description along with my coupon code. So if you use the coupon code, you will be having a discounted price. Okay guys, so let's get into the video. Okay, welcome back guys. So in this video we are going to use a tool which is called Brutespray for performing a automated brute force attacks. So first let us talk about the Brutespray tool. So the Brutespray is actually a open source tool which is built on Python. This particular takes the input from the Nmap Scan and automatically brute force the services running with the default credentials using Medusa. Okay, so first let's install this particular tool in our Kali machine. This tool will not be installed by default, so we have to go ahead and install it by ourselves. So let me install the Brutespray tool by the command apt install space Brutespray. Okay, so this is actually the command to install the Brutespray tool. So let me hit on enter. So I have installed the Brutespray already on my Kali machine. So if you are not installed, the installation will be continuing for you. It will ask you whether to install the tool or not. You'll just simply give yes. So give Y, it will continue the installation. Once the tool is been installed, let us check whether the tool is been installed on a Kali machine or not. So let me clear the screen first. So let me type Brutespray -h. Okay, so we are getting the help options as well as the banner of the Brutespray, which means the tool is successfully installed. So as I told you before, this particular tool will take the input from the Nmap Scan and uses the credentials in order to perform the brute force attack. So first we need a target. Okay, so let me maximize a little bit so that you guys can able to see it properly. So let me open a new tab. Okay, so let me maximize this too. Yeah, so I have a target which is running on my virtual machine, which is ping 192.168.1.5 is my target machine. So let me ping it whether the target machine is alive or not. So I'm getting the replies from the target machine, which means the machine is actually alive. So this is my target machine. So first let me perform a Nmap Scan to find out what are the services running on my target machine. So let me do nmap space and my IP address 1.5. So let me hit on enter. Let's check. Okay, so I have some services which are running on the target machine. Okay, so normally before performing our attacks, so we need to discuss something, that what type of services requires authentication, because normally brute force attacks will be performed where the authentication is present, right? So let's take FTP. Obviously FTP requires authentication in order to enter into the machine, and even SSH required authentication in order to log in into the machine. Sometimes telnet requires authentication, and sometimes HTTP is also required authentication. Okay, so this brute force attack will be performed wherever the authentication is required. Here we have some couple of services which requires authentication. Authentication means logging in, and I have already told you that Brutespray tool requires Nmap output in order to perform brute force attack. So for this, let me clear out the screen first. So let me do Nmap, the target machine's IP address, so .1.5, and here we require the output in a XML format. Okay, so for that, let me take out my output by using the command tag OX, capital X, and I have to give the file name. So let me save my file in my desktop as corp.xml. okay, so this is what we are going to do. So let me hit enter. So now my scan is finished. I have a file which is called corp.xml on my desktop. So we're going to give this particular file as an input to our Brutespray tool. Okay, so let's perform the brute force attack. So here is the file, the brute force help menu. Okay, so let me run the tool using the options Brutespray space. We are giving a file as an input. So for that, let me give -f, and where is my file is located is /root desktop, and the file name is corp.xml. So I'm just giving the path where my file is located. Okay, then we'll give threads to perform the attack much faster, because threads are actually used to send multiple requests at once in order to finish your attack even faster. Okay, so let me give -t. I'll just give number 5. Okay, I'm just giving value as 5. Okay, now we need to specify the service, which service we are actually pointing the attack to perform. I have already told you that we have some couple of services which requires authentication, which is one is FTP and one is SSH. So let me show you clearly so that you will be understanding the FTP requires authentication. So let me connect to the target machine using FTP. So FTP space and the IP address 168.1.5. So let me do enter. So it is actually asking for the username. So let me just type admin, and now it is actually requiring password. So let me type something like QWERTY, enter. Obviously this is not the actual password, so it says incorrect, but I just want to show you that FTP requires login, which is called as the authentication. Okay, so let me go on to my Brutespray tool. Okay, so here is the -s, which is we are going to specify the service. So these are the services. Okay, so FTP is a service, SH is a service, telnet, domain, HTTP, these are the services. So I have to point out my Brutespray tool to a particular service. So let me do it to FTP. That's it. You don't want to mention any target IP address, because the target IP address is already present inside the XML file. Okay, which is the output from Nmap. So let me do enter. That's it. So this will automatically detect the file, and it will automatically detect the IP address and the service, and it will perform the brute force attack. So now this particular brute force, the Brutespray tool actually performed the attack, and it actually checked the username as anonymous and password as 12345. Guess what? It actually found the password, which says success. But why actually everything is saying as success? In the sense, this particular FTP is actually enabled with anonymous login. Okay, so see, all the usernames are actually anonymous. That's why it got logged in. I'll tell you what is an anonymous login. So let me exit from this and let me reconnect again. So for username, so let me type anonymous as a username and I'll hit enter. Okay, so for password I'll just give some random value and I hit enter. It will automatically says login successful because it doesn't require the password when the anonymous login option is actually enabled in FTP service. I hope you understand, guys, or else you can just check out the anonymous login functionality in a FTP service. Okay, so that is why this particular brute force says, every guess says success. Okay, guys, so let's also check how are we going to use custom word list. Here it actually used its own word list, own words to check the login, but as a user, how am I going to use my own word list? For that, let me create my own word list. So let me quickly create it. So let me move on to my desktop. So because we'll do everything on desktop. Okay, so all my files are here. So quickly create a nano user.txt, and nano is a text editor, command line text editor. Okay, so you can use gedit or leafpad in Kali Linux as well. I'm just using a command line text editor. Okay, so let me quickly put some random words. So admin, user, root, msf admin, msf post. I'm just putting some random values. Okay, but in real time, if the attacker has a main intention to perform a brute force attack on a particular individual or organization, he or she will be performing a information gathering technique on the particular target, because you can't just put random words and try to perform a brute force attack. Obviously, if you're performing a brute force attack on an organization, you must gather some information about the target in order to create a word list, because that is where the guess will becomes right. Okay, so let me save this file. So Control O, enter, Control X. Okay, so I have the txt file here. So let me check whether I have contents inside. Yes. Okay, so let me quickly create a password file also. So pass.txt. So enter. So let me just put some random words. So tour, admin, password, msf admin, msf. So let me save the file. So Control O, enter, Control X. Okay, so same cat pass.txt. Yeah. Okay, so I have my user file and my password file ready. Okay, so let's do the attack. But now this time let's target SSH. Okay, because SSH also requires authentication, right? So here we performed with FTP. So now let's perform with the SSH. Okay, so for this we need the option to mention the username list. We'll put -u or tag user list. For password, tag p or tag password list. Okay, so let's use this options like tag u and tag p. So first let me mention tag u, and my username file is actually present in desktop user.txt, and tag caps p. Let me mention my password list, which is password.txt. Yeah, so now let's change the service to SSH. Okay, that's it. So let me hit enter. Let's wait. So this will take a little bit time, so let's wait. Yes. Okay, so now the attack has been completed. It actually checked with the random the username and the password which is given by the attacker, which is me. I have mentioned the username and the password list. So how the attack will be performed is, first it will take one username and it will check on with the all other password which is present inside the password list. And once the first username has been finished, then it will jump on to the second username and it will do the vice versa. So let's check. Yeah, so here see, it says the account is actually found. So now my username is msfadmin and password is also msfadmin. So let me check whether we can able to log in. So let me do ssh space 192.168.1.5 is my target's IP address. So it is actually asking for password. Okay, I already know the username, right? So let me do ssh space msfadmin at 192.168.1.5. okay, because I'm actually giving my username here itself. Okay, so let me do enter. So now it will ask for the password. So let me give the password msfadmin, hit enter. Now I'm actually logged in as I have logged in into the target machine. Okay guys, so this is how you perform the brute force attack. But the biggest challenge while performing a brute force attack is creating a word list. So that is actually a biggest challenge. So but in real time the attackers will do a serious information gathering techniques in order to create a word list. Okay, so don't worry, we will be discussing on that particular topic in a separate video on how to create your custom word list and how to create a word list on a specific organization or a specific individual in order to perform a proper brute force attack or a dictionary based attack or a password attack, you name it. Okay, so this is it guys. So this is how you use Brutespray tool, and please don't use it for illegal purpose. I am not responsible for any actions taken by you. So thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you next time. Bye.